Most money advice starts with a spreadsheet, but Ruchi Pinniger starts somewhere else. She spent 2 decades in finance as a hedge fund CFO on Wall Street and left to start Watch Her Prosper, where she works with women business owners on confidence, mindset, and the money story that they've been carrying since childhood. I'm Diamond Walker with the USA Today Network of Florida. Come with me to see how she describes it.
Yes, I'm Ruchi Pinniger. I'm the founder and CEO of Watch Her Prosper. I work with women to help them with their money mindset and to redefine prosperity. After almost 20 years in the corporate world, mostly on Wall Street as a hedge fund CFO, I left, and what I heard were all these incredible, talented, successful women who started businesses and had all the money stories. I don't know how to do this. I'm not good at the numbers. And of course, that's the case because we have been conditioned as young women to be told it's not polite to talk about money. You don't need to know how to do this. And that was my why. That was exactly why I started Watch Her Prosper because enough is enough. And it's time for us to feel confident around our money, to know that we are capable of doing this. And now I help women with their money mindset. And I have multiple tools that really guide them to have a different view on how to look at money and to empower them with their money. Women, we get them to focus on their money. So now they understand what's coming in, what's going out, are they profitable, are they making enough? But what's happening is they're not focused on their relationship with money. And even when the money's coming in, what happens is if they have a money story around, I'm not good with this, it's not safe to hold the money goes out as quickly as it goes in. So what I'm seeing is we have subconscious beliefs that are holding us back. 95 to 97% of how we show up every day is based on our subconscious beliefs. And I want women to work on knowing what those are. We dive into what's the money story that you've created as a result of the childhood experience. So, for example, someone just recently told me that her parents used to fight about money all the time. So she doesn't feel safe holding money. To her, money creates conflict. And that's really impacted how she's lived her whole entire life, how she's not saved, she's not charged enough in her business, she hasn't felt safe to build wealth. I hear that money has been weaponized by someone's father, and that means when she makes money, she spends it because she doesn't feel safe to hold it. There's so many different stories that we have created as a result of those subconscious beliefs from the time that we are in our mother's womb until we're 7 or 8 years old. We're creating these beliefs and not even realizing that they're impacting our current day life as adults. We have an average of 60,000 thoughts per day. 80% of them are negative. Imagine if we could shift that and 80% could be positive. So I've created an RIR method. It's recognize, interrupt, reframe. Recognize when you're having that negative thought, interrupt it, hand on heart, take a few deep breaths, get yourself grounded. Okay. And now I want you to connect to your higher self, to the next level version of you, and reframe that with something more prosperous. So, for example, I'm not good at the numbers. I don't know how to do this. To, I'm so grateful for my abundance. It's safe to trust myself with money. Money flows easily to me. Now, it's not the words, it's the feeling in your body. Close your eyes. What does it feel like for money to flow so easily to you? What does it feel like to trust yourself with money, to know that money's always available to you? That's the feeling that we're trying to connect with. And then once you connect to that feeling, now I want you to take action from that next level version of yourself. What's the action you've been holding back, not doing because you're letting the old money story dictate your life? Isn't it time to make a new decision? It's very similar to manifestation. The thing about manifestation, it's not just to read the mantra, money flows easily to me. This is about that feeling in your body. The feeling in your body is actually what creates the change because our mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. There are so many studies with athletes, with musicians, where they are imagining something and they're actually doing it, their brain activity is the same. So for all of you who are reading this, who are listening, what you're really wanting to do is connect to that feeling. And then your mind is sort of tricked into thinking, this is the new normal. This is familiar to me. It's safe. Is someone who said to me that she was told that the work she was going to do would never make money. That was the story that her parents, her father told her. That's not going to make you any money. You can't make a living doing that. What we've worked to do is really create a new belief system that it's, first of all, that it's safe to hold money because she didn't trust herself with money as a result of that. She thought that I'm not good at money. I'm not going to be able to make anything doing this. So allowing her to trust herself, also making it safe for her to receive money. That's really important. So we've worked on that RIR method, recognizing those thoughts. And then we actually do these exercises where what we do is we write the new belief. We write what we want. We think what we want. We say out loud what we want. We feel what we want. And every morning, I'm having her do a ritual where she's sitting down, she's getting grounded, she's taking some deep breaths, she's doing those exercises. It's safe to receive money. It's safe to trust myself with money. And she's writing it, saying it out loud, closing her eyes, feeling it, visualizing what it's like. And what a difference. She's increased her rates. She's looking at her money. She now knows what she's bringing in, what she's spending. She's looking at ways to increase her wealth, build her wealth, thinking about retirement planning, all things that she wasn't doing before we started this work. Because of our cultural conditioning, right? It wasn't until the 70s that we were even allowed to have our own credit in our own name. So we have come from a place of fighting to be able to control money, fighting to be able to own things, to have things in our own name. So it's that and it's the stories that we've carried with us. So as I said, as kids, we don't have a conscious mind. Everything we're told is very literal. So if you're told like you don't need to be part of this conversation, you don't need to know this. It's not polite to ask. Then you go into your whole life thinking that. So, how does that impact our prosperity? How does that impact our wealth? We go into jobs thinking that we're not enough. Literally, we're not enough. We're not allowed to ask. So, the impact that that first job you accept, that you might not have actually asked for the amount that you required or wanted or desired, that is impacting you thousands, tens of thousands, maybe millions of dollars in your whole career when you think about how each job's salary and raise is based off the prior one.
Can you give me an example of somebody who's blocking their money in their everyday life?
Yeah. I have an example of someone who took one of my workshops and she wrote me the next day actually about this. Uh, I was teaching my RIR method and she wrote me that she never goes to look at her mail because she's so scared what's going to be in there. She just thinks it's always bills. But she went the next day because she was thinking about what I shared and what I was teaching. And she said she went in there, she got her mail, and there were some bills in there, of course, catalogs, but there were also checks. There was money in there for her, and it was more than the amount of the bills. And she said, what a difference to be so empowered to be able to trust that money is there, money is available to me, that going to the mailbox doesn't have to be scary. Well, think of your money as a relationship. So, in the beginning, you might start to flirt a little bit. So, maybe you might just open up your bank account, see what's coming in, see what's going out, open up the credit card statement, look at it. So, think about it as like that flirting stage. And then maybe it's time to start dating. Now, maybe you'll start actually looking at how much is coming in, how much is going out, what's left over? Or am I actually spending more than I'm making and that's causing me to go into debt or use up my savings? So that's sort of like if you think about the dating stage and then engaged and married, right? Now you might start to make more permanent changes, more permanent choices around your money. So once you have the data and the information, and I do want to add something really important about that. I want you all to let go of the judgment, let go of the judgment. The numbers are just data. The numbers are the information that allow you to get clarity, that allow you to build the prosperous life you want, that allow you to build the wealth. So if you can see it as just the data and let go of the emotion and the judgment that we all carry with us, that's going to really serve you. Start with that. And what, like I said, once you have the information, once you have the clarity, now you can plan from there. Start to really think about, what is the prosperous life I want to create? What do I desire? Do I want to start saving for a house? Do I want to start saving for an annual trip with my family to build memories? Do I have debt to pay off? Start to really understand what's happening. And then you can back into, what's the number I need to make to be able to do all these things? And that's where the actions comes in. So this is why with manifestation, we talked about the feeling in the body, but creating the reality we want is about knowing what it is, getting the clarity, and then the action. I want you to know that your brain has something really funny called the reticular activating system. I call it the RAS. Okay. Your reticular activating system, your RAS, is like the bouncer for your brain. We have 11 million bits of information available to us at any second. Our mind can process 40. So, what you are looking for is what you're going to see. If you are looking for evidence that you can't, you are going to get evidence that you can't. If you are instead looking for opportunities, looking for possibilities, someone who's coming from a place of I can't is going to see evidence of I can't. Someone who's looking for, there's so many possibilities out there. I literally have chills saying this because I think everyone really needs to hear it. If you're looking for the possibilities, you're going to start to see them. They're going to start to show up for you because you're filtering your mind to see them for you. So that's why we want to have the thoughts of what we desire, not the thoughts that might feel like our current reality.
Beautiful. It reminds me, I watched a video. Basically, it was on the same topic, and it was like, pick one, wake up in the morning and pick one object and just think about it. And then I promise you'll see it all throughout the day. And I think I picked like a random like clover or something, and I kept seeing like clovers in Florida. So it was like very weird, but it's exactly what you were talking about. What you put your mind out, what you set your mind to look for, you will receive it. So I love.
That's exactly right. Thank you. I'm glad that was exactly, that's a beautiful experiment. And so to answer your other question, what can people do if they're skeptical? Play. I invite you all to play and join me and start to every morning. Today, everywhere I go, I'm going to see yellow flowers. Today, I'm going to see white BMWs everywhere. Today, I'm going to see possibilities of money everywhere I look. And what starts to happen? Play, make it fun. I think one thing that's really important for people also, many of us think about prosperity as money, as financial success. And I really want people to start to think about money differently. Prosperity is what you make of it. Prosperity is about, I have my three pillars of redefining prosperity framework, my trademark framework. And we talk about well being, we talk about spirituality, we talk about healthy relationships with people and money. So, really start to think about, what does prosperity mean to you? Because the number in your bank account does not make you whole. The number in your bank account does not make you prosperous. Prosperity is an inside job. Prosperity is the way we feel. You can feel prosperous every single day if you choose. And there's so many beautiful little, moments of prosperity that we can find in our everyday life. So I invite everyone who's skeptical about this, or who's listening or seeing us, I want them to start to look for those micro joys. And those micro joys in your everyday can be prosperity.